Welcome to a Java tutorial. We're going to be using Eclipse for our integrated development environment. When you first load Eclipse, you get a screen similar to this. This is the Enterprise Edition, so it looks a little bit different than the regular edition. But what you'll want to do is go to Workbench. You'll need to create a new workbench. So you can just switch workspace to other. If you're one of my students, you'll be on the network on the Mac. You'll need to create your workspace locally on the drive rather than on the network because it's not set up for that. So create it in Documents or Desktop. And I suggest that you call your workspace Java Exercises or just Exercises. After creating your new workspace, you should just go to Workbench. This is your default perspective. You don't need outline or task, so you should just minimize that, and that makes your source space a little bit bigger. In your Project Explorer, you should create a new project. And the first thing you'll want to do is create a Java project. This will help the IDE compile your projects under Java. And I'm just going to call it Java Videos because that's what I'm creating. You can just call it Java. And these defaults should be okay. And just click on Remember Decision and click Yes. And on your default perspective, you don't need the task list and you don't need the outline. So just minimize those and that'll increase the area for your source. First thing you want to do is create a package under source. So you'll go New, Package, and we're starting with Chapter 2. So just type in Chapter 2. You can leave this unchecked. Using a package will just help you organize your source code better. You'll be creating a lot of source code, so it's best to create your package. You use letters and numbers for identifiers. That means you can't use spaces. And the first thing you'll need to do is create a Java class. And in the book, it says welcome one is your class. However, to organize things better, I'm just going to use figure 0201. And I'm putting leading zeros in because it sorts it alphabetically. And when we get more than 10 figures, it won't sort correctly if you don't use the leading zeros. And we can have it create a main for us. That way it reduces errors. And when you type in your main function, you need to have it exactly like this. Otherwise, you risk getting an error. So we can just highlight this line and delete it. Hit Tab. And all we want to do is system out.println. That's ln, not 1n. And welcome to Java programming. And it auto-completes things for you if everything's typed in properly. So it added an extra quote here and added an end bracket. All we need to add is a semicolon. Most statements end in a semicolon. And if you see a red X, that means there's an error. And it suggests that it's a semicolon that we need to correct the error, so we just put in a semicolon. For beginners, the biggest problem with programming in most languages is forgetting the brackets. So if I forget this bracket, it'll give you an error, and it's saying add another one. Another way to get brackets incorrectly is to not put in the leading bracket. And here, if you look at the error, it says this left curly bracket is expected. So you should just put that back. if you didn't have the IDE insert this code for you, you risk forgetting to put things in, and it'll give you an error. That's an incorrect error for this type of problem. And if you go to run, you won't have an appropriate menu item because it is expecting static and void. Static means that it doesn't require an object, and entering this program, you don't expect to have any objects. Void means it's not going to return a value. So now if I go to run, I can see that I have Java application for this. And we can click on this and click OK. So the output is this: welcome to Java programming. This is called a console program because it doesn't do any graphics, doesn't have any windows, it simply outputs to the console. The advantage of doing console programs is that it's generally not multitasking and it's easy to debug. Systemout.print will send messages to the console. And one thing you should do with all your source code is enter comments. So this is from the Java How to Program book, and this is page 36, and this is figure 2.1. And I'm just going to make a comment here: class figure 0201 is class welcome 1. Typically, you should put your name and the date in here. And that's it for this lesson. Please continue to the next lesson when you're ready.